Welcome everybody to Central Valley Today. I'm Stephanie Bainham.
And I'm Alex Delgado. Thanks for being here, everybody. We're going to begin with a topic that, a lot of us are very familiar with, Stephanie, social media.
Oh, yeah.
It happens to all of us. We start looking at either Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and next thing you know, a whole hour's gone by.
It just flies. Well, how is all this affecting our brain? Well, let's ask Dr. Peter Nazarinian. He's a licensed marriage and family therapist at Fig Garden Counseling. Dr. Peter, so great to see you.
My pleasure. Nice to be here with you both.
Wow, the world is changing faster than ever, isn't it?
It is amazing. You're giving a couple of stats there, Steph. And do you know who uses social media the most, just out of curiosity? You'll never guess. People in the Philippines.
Really?
3.7 hours a day on social media. Others are very close, but yeah, they're the leaders. Isn't that something?
Wow.
Interesting.
And how is it then, the saturation of social media and everything about it affecting our brains? I mean, I know, obviously, especially for the younger kids, they have a tough time socializing, but what else?
Well, there's a little list I brought along, and let's take a look at these real quick because I think it makes a huge difference. You're right about young people socializing, even interacting, saying please and thank you, holding doors, things that most of us, thought it was a good thing to do just as kids growing up. Yeah, those are all going away. I can't tell you how many young people, for example, are not getting their driver's licenses.
Yes.
Isn't that something? When I was a kid, which is, early Pleistocene, just before the ice melted, kids would get their, you'd be flying from the DMV on the morning of your 16th birthday to get that license because you wanted to go hang out at the malt shop. Literally didn't have malls, hang out at the malt shop. But now kids don't get their driver's license. They want to sit in their room and they can go to the virtual mall. They don't have to worry about it. So that's just one route. But how they change their brain is kind of interesting. In a positive way, number one, it helps strengthen our memory. We all like to reminisce, we all like to have memories, and sometimes when they put those on Facebook, which is the most common platform, we scroll through them on a daily basis, or they bring them back a year later. Sometimes they have those things, and then so we keep seeing those pictures, we keep contact with those people. So it does, in fact, sort of supercharge our memory. We don't have the vague memory of what happened. We can scroll back through, and whoop, there we are at Disneyland 5 years ago. Look at that outfit I was wearing.
Yeah.
Perfect. So in that sense, it's a good thing. So our memories are sharp. It also activates the reward center of our brain. We have a reward center where we do something pleasurable that triggers a little good feeling. So we get on social media and we like somebody's picture, or they like ours, even more importantly. Oh, that's really good. We like that. That's kind of nice. It's part of the addiction process. We actually have a thing called IA now, Internet Anonymous. You've heard of AA and Overeaters and everything else. Now there's Internet Anonymous, people who are actually stuck on internet for hours and hours who can't get off the internet. You said earlier, you're looking at Snapchat and next thing an hour goes by. What happens if a day goes by? Or a weekend, and you haven't done anything because you've been on, it's an addiction, so that's the downside. We like the activation of the reward center, but it doesn't always have the payoff we want. It affects mental health deeply. We all have mental health is something that gets influenced easily by trauma, by childhood, by relationships, by drugs and alcohol. These all affect it. And unfortunately, the social media does the same thing. It affects our mental health. For example, we put something on there and not enough people like it, or they reject it or say something on it, and all of a sudden our self-esteem takes a hit, our sense of self takes a hit. We are so geared to getting that reinforcement from somebody liking our picture. And if they put something on there, drama ensues, and all of a sudden we have all such stuff going through families because of what was posted on Facebook. So unfortunately, it can affect our mental health deeply in various ways. It also reduces our attention span. We're used to seeing people who are, looking at things, oh, my Instagram just went off, or my phone just went off, or somebody's calling me. And we're going from media to media, from platform to platform, and we're not really tuning into what's going on. And we were talking earlier about how in Europe they're putting stoplights in the sidewalks, in the crosswalks, so that the lights will actually blink and show red, green, and yellow because people are doing this, walking across the streets.
They've gotten hit and killed.
They have. So it unfortunately, it reduces our attention span.
Yeah.
Kills our sleep.
Oh, I believe that.
How many people get in bed at night and they're just, I'll just text a little bit, my boyfriend's on the night shift, the next thing you know it's 3 o'clock in the morning, or I'm watching social media and something's happening, I'm just scrolling through, and those hours go by, and next day you're not worth a darn because you've been staring at your phone all night or talking to somebody, things that didn't happen 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It makes us a follower and not a good one. We often follow celebrities and political figures, sports stars, things like this, because we want to be part of that gang that supports that person. And if everybody likes something, we think, well, I better like that too, because that's my person, and I'm at that gang. And so we wind up being sheep, following the gang, following the trends, following what everybody else does. You've heard of the internet bullying. The same thing happens. Everybody feels this way. Let's get on this person, tell them they should probably hurt themselves because that would be fun. Next thing you know, 20 or 30 people in your class are saying it. Well, you've heard it. People have actually committed suicide because they've been cyberbullied. It makes us a follower and not a good one. I'd much rather be a shepherd than a sheep, but unfortunately we're raising sheep now. And finally, it affects our nervous system. Everything that we do, there's an interesting thing called phantom vibration syndrome. That's when you think your phone's going off and it isn't. Have you ever pulled your phone out and thought you had a vibration, pulled it out, there's nothing there, and you kind of thought, well, that's weird. I'm sure it vibrated. I had that moment.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Phantom vibration syndrome, now actually medical terminology for people who are actually think they're hearing their phone, but they don't.
That's all scary.
It is kind of, isn't it?
So what's the solution? I know we're out of time, but real fast, what's your message to parents and people out there?
Well, I think you just said the key word stuff, parents. This is getting on your kids, get them outside, get them off the phones as much as possible, get your, he's 27 years old, still living in his bedroom on, on the virtual mall. It's time to go. So parents need to put the foot down. Problem is, some of the parents are doing the same thing.
Right.
So,
It's more important than ever, though.
Definitely.
Teach them how to be humans and social.
Interact, talk, do this.
Interact.
Yes, exactly. Doctor, thank you so much for being here.
Very
what
helpful.
great tips. 559-252-9700 is his